20,000 years ago, you would be under about a kilometre of ice. Now this ice shifted, it melted, thawed, and then it iced up again. And when it did that, it moved around. In the process, it created little locks like this. This is very ancient water here, thousands of years old. And higgledy-piggledy, these stones you see lying around, these are stones that have been brought over from the Nevis Range, which is about 20 miles sort of northwest of here. We'll go through past that a bit later on. And then in the process of the ice flowing and moving from one place to another, it's picked up and took chunks of rock from the hillsides, carried them and just dropped them randomly all over the place. So it makes for a very surreal landscape here. Once again, it's very inhospitable. We see these snow poles at either side of the road, and they obviously mark the point or the shape the road takes as it cuts through the highlands here. So we're working our way towards a place called Glen Coe, very iconic area, very beautiful, very stunning scenery, and it was once a place of a great tragedy in Scottish history. You're scaring me now. Sorry, I should have slowed down and let them go. Then you can lose the coach me. You alright? Yeah, I'm good. Sure. So we mentioned all these clans, and we had different clans, the MacDonalds, the Camerons, the MacGregors, who I mentioned were outlaws. So a great many clans were considered to be outlawed by other clans. Now, we mentioned a king who was very fiercely for Protestantism and bringing it here to Scotland. In the process of doing that, he had to get rid of a lot of Jacobites who were causing him problems as well. Now, around about the time of Killiecrankie, 1689, on the other side of the country, well, there was that uprising we mentioned. But over here, different things were happening. Now, for about a year, King William, who was now king, the Protestant king, he had put a document out claiming that every clan should sign it. On the document, it was basically saying that every clan chief should pledge allegiance to him, King William. Now, as I says, some of these kings were Jacobites. They had fought alongside the Jacobites. They had fought in the hope that they would bring back King James, the Catholic king. So a great many of these clan chiefs didn't want to sign it, and a great many of them kicked their heels. One particular clan was the clan of Glen Coe. They were known as MacDonalds. They were a rather large clan, and they owned quite a swathe of land here in Scotland. They were quite warmongering, so they could really look after themselves. They were a clan that could stand out on their own without having to amalgamate with other clans. Now, the MacDonalds were causing... Some of the Campbells were a little bit concerned about this. They had made friends with some of the MacDonalds, and they tried to warn the MacDonalds. are stones that have been brought over from the Nevis Range, which is about 20 miles sort of northwest of here. We'll go through past that a bit later on. And in the process of the ice flowing and moving from one place to another, it's